Have you ever stumbled into those really weird, kind of forgotten corners of the internet?
Oh yeah, places where something just pops up, super bizarre, maybe genuinely unsettling.
Exactly, and then it just vanishes, gone. Leaves you thinking, what on earth was that?
Happens all the time.
Well, today we're going to tell you the story of one of those, a real enigma. The Robert Helpmann YouTube channel.
Ah, yes, that one.
This channel, right, it just appeared on July 12th, 2015. And get this, all 12 of its videos uploaded that same day.
All at once.
All at once, bam, 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 and then nothing. Total silence ever since. No more posts, no explanations.
But people are still talking about it nearly a decade later. That's what's interesting.
It is, and the content itself is just deeply strange. Each video seems to focus on what looks like a dead body, called Daisy, apparently.
Yeah.
All wrapped up in trash bags.
And there's this masked figure.
Yeah.
Unnamed.
Right, this masked man who sometimes in this really unsettling way seems to be caring for the body. It's hard to describe.
Very disturbing juxtaposition.
Now, if you just watched one randomly, you might think, okay, this is just nonsense. You know, maybe trying to be edgy or shocking.
Just random disturbing clips.
Yeah. But here's the thing. If you watch them in the order they were uploaded, number 1 through 12, a story actually starts to emerge. A basic one, sure, but it's there. And it's deeply unsettling.
And there's more hidden beneath the surface too, right? Like subliminal stuff.
Exactly. Subliminal messages, weird audio. So our plan today is to piece this strange story together, look at the clues, and try to figure out what it all might mean. It's definitely one that sticks with you.
What really grabs me about this one is how deliberate it feels. Such a limited burst of content, 12 videos, one day creating such lasting mystery. It really suggests, well, almost an artistic intent behind it all.
Like it was meant to be exactly this, a self-contained puzzle box.
Precisely. Designed to make us think, to keep us guessing long after we've seen it. It's quite effective in a creepy way.
Okay, so let's walk through it. Try to follow Daisy's journey, as bizarre as it is.
Where does it start?
Video 1, Daisy arrives, and it immediately sets this off-kilter tone. You get this long shot of an empty chair, just sits there, waiting.
Already feels wrong.
Totally. Then, boom, jumbled words flash really quickly on screen, almost too fast to read, like a hint of the confusion to come.
Fragments.
Yeah. And then Daisy appears, or, well, is put there, wrapped in the bags. And there's this reversed audio playing in the background. It's immediately disorienting.
That reverse audio is a big clue, I think. Tells you straight away something's fundamentally backward or wrong about this whole situation.
It's like an auditory signal saying, don't expect normal.
Exactly. It primes you.
Things get even stranger. Moving ahead to the 4th video, tucking Daisy in.
Right, this is where the masked man first appears, sort of.
Sort of. You just see someone under the covers, seemingly with Daisy, but the description is what really gets you. It says Daisy, quote, even being the age she is, still prefers to be tucked in.
The age she is, implying a child.
Seems like it. And then adds, she's got a busy day ahead. A busy day. For a body in trash bags.
It's that clash again. The mundane description against the horrific visual creates this awful cognitive dissonance.
Makes your skin crawl, doesn't it? Trying to normalize the utterly abnormal.
It's a very effective technique for creating unease. Darkly humorous, almost. Mostly just chilling.
Then comes the 5th video, Daisy unwinds. And here, we finally see the masked man properly, full view.
What's he doing?
He's trying to feed the body. It's a really disturbing image. And again, the description pushes this weird normalcy. It says, Daisy was relaxing after a long, stressful day.
Relaxing? A stressful day? What stress? What day?
Exactly. It makes no sense. It just layers on the bizarre feeling that this person, the masked man, is living in a completely different reality.
Or projecting one onto Daisy.
Right. Then, video 7, Daisy tumble. This one ramps up the dread. Daisy is shown at the bottom of a staircase.
Like she fell.
Looks that way. And for just a few seconds, you hear what really sounds like a little girl crying. It's faint, but it's there.
Oh, that's horrible.
It really is. Then the masked man just comes back, picks Daisy up, and carries her away. No explanation, just the act itself and that awful crying sound beforehand.
That sound.
Yeah.
Using a child's cry like that.
Yeah.
It makes it so much worse. It forces you to connect emotionally, even though the situation is so abstract and strange.
Absolutely. It hits you on a different level. And the lack of context just makes it more unnerving, like watching a nightmare unfold.
A world without logic.
And then we get to the 10th video. This is probably the most infamous one, the one people remember.
The one that really crosses the line.
Yeah. Daisy is hung up on a wall, like some kind of grotesque trophy or, I don't know, art piece.
Grim.
And the description, again, is weirdly detached, talks about Daisy using an old swing set all afternoon that day. Again, pushing that child narrative.
So disturbing.
But then, about 30 seconds in, the masked man comes back. He has a knife.
Oh, no.
And he just starts stabbing Daisy repeatedly. It's frenzied, violent, and then the video just cuts out, abruptly ends, leaves you completely stunned.
It's a shocking escalation from that weird care to extreme violence.
And the next video, number 11, seems to pick up right after. It feels like a direct continuation.
Okay.
You see the masked man carrying Daisy into what looks like a kitchen, and the description. It says, and this is maybe the creepiest line of all, they were to clean up the mess Daisy just made.
Oh my God. The mess she made by being stabbed.
Exactly. Just chillingly domestic language for something so horrific. Like, it's just a chore.
That detachment is terrifying.
And then finally, the last video, number 12, Daisy leaves.
How does it happen?
Well, that's the thing. Somehow, after everything, the corpse escapes, leaves. The video shows the masked man looking visibly upset, like frustrated that she's gone.
Escapes. How?
We have no idea. It makes no logical sense, of course. But that's the end of the narrative we're given. Daisy is gone.
It's such a strange conclusion. After all that violence and control, she just leaves.
Bizarre, unsettling, completely perplexing, like the whole series.
So if you look at that whole arc, the masked man's actions go from this kind of twisted caretaking through extreme violence to then being upset that Daisy left. It maps out this really disturbing psychological journey.
Yeah, it really does.
And yeah, that contrast, again, the everyday language in the descriptions against the violence and strangeness on screen, that's what really gets under your skin. It keeps you constantly questioning what's real within the context of the videos.
So if we try and pull a storyline out of this, what do we actually have?
Well, the descriptions often use we, not I.
Right, good point. So maybe Daisy was invited over by a group of people she knew, or at least the masked man sees himself as part of a we.
Could be multiple people involved, or it could be part of his delusion, a sort of collective identity. Hard to say.
And Daisy herself, the swing sets, the tucking in, maybe the crying sound, it all points towards her being presented as a child, right?
Seems to be the implication. Maybe an older child, not quite a teenager, but definitely childlike.
And the masked man's arc is just chilling. Starts off seemingly okay, then turns incredibly violent, stabs her, and then she runs away. And he's upset.
It's a complete breakdown or transformation, which raises that big question.
Yeah.
Is this showing someone's mind falling apart, a descent into madness? Or was it all planned, like a deliberate performance of cruelty hidden behind that initial care?
That ambiguity is horrible. You just don't know the motivation. Is it sickness or calculated evil?
And the videos don't give you an answer. They just leave you hanging with those uncomfortable possibilities.
But okay, it gets even weirder. Because it's not just the main action. There's stuff hidden in the videos.
The subliminal elements you mentioned.
Exactly. The most significant one. Halfway through each video, roughly, random words flack up, single frame sometimes, super hard to see unless you're looking, pausing.
Frame by frame stuff.
Totally. But people did it. They collected all the words, put them in order across the 12 videos, and they form a poem.
The poem. What's it about?
It's about a woman finding a dead body outside a church. And then she starts thinking about her own death, what will happen to her, given the whole theme. It feels like a direct commentary on Daisy. Super airy.
Wow. That adds a whole other layer of premeditation. Someone carefully constructed that.
Oh, absolutely. And there's other odd stuff too. Like, listen closely in some videos, and you can hear reversed Christmas music playing low in the background.
Christmas music. Reversed. Why?
Who knows? It just adds to the wrongness. Takes something familiar and happy and twists it. And eagle-eyed viewers notice things too, like random objects appearing or moving slightly between shots in some videos. Almost like continuity errors, but maybe deliberate.
To keep you off balance. Make you feel like the reality of the scene isn't stable.
Okay.
You know, all these hidden things, the poem, the reversed audio, the subtle visual shifts.
Yeah.
It really points towards careful planning. It encourages you to rewatch, to dig deeper. It's very characteristic of ARGs, alternate reality games.
Right, where the audience becomes part of solving the mystery.
Exactly. It draws you in, makes you an active participant in trying to decipher it all.
So, okay, we have this elaborate construction, this disturbing story, hidden messages. But the big, obvious question that still hangs there is Daisy herself.
Yeah. Why treat her like she's alive? Why the personification?
Right. She's clearly not a body in bags, so why pretend she needs tucking in or feeding or that she can run away? It just doesn't add up logically.
It creates that constant tension. Your eyes see one thing, the narrative implies another.
Which brings us to something really disturbing from the real world.
Oh.
There's a parallel here
Sorry, I was
that's...
chilling.
Have you heard of the Anatoly Mosvin case?
Vaguely. Remind me. Okay, so back in 2011, this Russian guy, Anatoly Mosvin, a linguist actually, was arrested. And they found mummified bodies of young girls in his apartment. Several of them.
Oh my God. Did he kill them?
No, that's the thing. He wasn't a murderer. He was a grave robber. He'd dig up the bodies of female children, take them home. He'd dress them up, give them names. He even held birthday parties for them. He was eventually diagnosed with schizophrenia. His explanation was that he felt sorry for them, thought they could be brought back to life somehow, and he was, in his mind, caring for them.
That's beyond disturbing. A completely detached reality.
Absolutely. A profound delusion.
So thinking about that, could the Robert Helpmann channel be playing with that same idea? Is Daisy meant to be real only in the masked man's head? Is all his behavior, the care, the violence, the frustration, just part of his own internal world, his delusion?
It's a very uncomfortable possibility, isn't it?
Right.
Reframes the horror entirely. Makes it about the internal state of the perpetrator, not just the external actions.
It really does. But thankfully, there's probably a much simpler and less horrifying explanation for Daisy.
Okay.
It's actually very likely she's just a prop. A DIY Halloween decoration.
Ah, I think I remember those.
Yeah, it was a thing a few years back. People would take empty bottles, jugs, containers, arrange them kind of like a body shape.
And wrap them in trash bags or plastic sheeting.
Exactly. To make it look like, you know, a bag body for Halloween. And honestly, looking at Daisy, it seems highly probable that's what she is. Just some cleverly arranged bottles and bags.
That does make a lot more sense, practically speaking. And it's definitely a relief compared to the other possibilities.
For sure. But it doesn't really lessen the impact of the story they told with her.
No, it doesn't. Even if Daisy is just a prop, the way the series uses her to tap into those really deep anxieties about death, delusion, the breakdown of reality, like in the Mosvin case, that's still incredibly powerful.
It really is. It shows how effective suggestion and atmosphere can be, even with simple materials.
It raises that question, doesn't it? How creators can use fiction, even crude fiction, to touch on such profound psychological fears.
So, okay, Daisy's probably a prop. That makes sense. But it still leaves one big mystery.
Why? Why make it at all, and why release it all at once and then just disappear?
Exactly. This wasn't just thrown together. We talked about the planning, the story arc, the subliminal poem, the sound design. It was clearly, carefully crafted with a beginning, middle, and end, all uploaded on one single day.
That release strategy is interesting in itself. Not teasing it out, not building suspense over time like most ARGs or web series. Just, here it is, the complete work.
Yeah, like a finished statement.
It suggests maybe it was intended as a one-off piece of art or a performance. They made their statement, put it out there, and that was that. Job done.
That feels likely. It feels like the channel did whatever it set out to do. And given the silence for nearly a decade, probably not coming back.
Probably not. It exists now as this strange, self-contained digital artifact.
But you never know, right? Maybe there is more to the story somewhere. Or maybe another chapter will appear someday. For now, though, we just have these 12 videos in the mystery they created. We wait, we wonder.
A perfectly executed piece of internet lore.
So to wrap up, we've got this really chilling story of Daisy and the Masked Man, this weird narrative arc from care to violence to escape.
The hidden poem, adding that extra layer of depth and creepiness.
Those disturbing echoes of real-life cases like Anatoly Mosvin, making you question the Masked Man's sanity.
And then the likely reality. Daisy was probably just a well-made Halloween prop.
Which brings us back to that final thought. What is it about these kinds of unsettling online mysteries that just hooks us? Why are we so drawn to them?
And what does it say about us, maybe, that we're so fascinated when fiction gets this close to mimicking the truly macabre aspects of reality, even if it's just bottles in a bag?
Something to think about. We really hope you found this story as weirdly fascinating as we did.
It's definitely one you don't forget easily.
Thanks for joining us for this exploration into the strange world of Robert Helpmann.
Until next time.
Stay curious.